Good evening and welcome to the Team 7 podcast. This is our penultimate episode, 469, which we skipped actually, but I read it last week. So 469 through 479. This is actually the end of Naruto manga. So what I have right here in the corner, which neither of you can see unless you show my full screen, that's the end. We have finished the manga. It's done. What comes after is other writings and stuff from Kishimoto that makes it canon, but I wanted you guys to know that you guys have finished. We are done. Asher's having a actual brain
panic attack on air. I'll be okay.
So let's open up with the end of the Kaguya fight. What'd you guys think? It was really, really satisfying to see Black Zetsu finally just get put in the moon, you know?
Yeah. He definitely, showed his cards from the last fight to where he wasn't going to get forgotten. And I'm glad that they at least addressed that.
100%. Little bitch.
Can't stand him. Or whatever it is.
So, yeah, we see the newly reformed Team 7 and Obito in all of these different realms. Obviously, we saw that in the last batch a little bit with them, but Obito's up and somehow still alive. And we're just like, oh, that's cool. We're glad he's here. But ended up playing a pretty key part. Did you guys forgive Obito or still some reservations? I think the show does a good job of making you feel some emotions about him.
Yeah, full forgiveness for me. No holds back.
Wow. I feel the same way. I completely agree. I really like Obito. I think that he's whiny when he's a kid.
Sure.
But I still like his character a lot, and his development is great. I really hate that he had to die. Like, hate the way it happened. Like, I don't know. Like, it makes sense, and I'm glad he saved Kakashi because that was cool. But man, it would have been really cool to see what he could have done, I guess, if he had been able to live. But there's probably no coming back from that, for like the rest of the world.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to see what happens in this like Kaguya realm of like 5 different worlds and stuff. And that's a lot of development. Like Shikamaru is not going to see it and be like, all right, Obito's 6 Hokage. Great.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for us to have that forgiveness because we were there through the whole encounter, the whole story. But random village lady in some other town is going to be totally hesitant, and rightfully so. But
yeah,
I definitely think the context of how he was raised and not how he was raised by like his parents or anything, but like his childhood is what I meant to say.
And like interactions within his team and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly. They're definitely tough, but that's not the end of the story. We saw the whole thing several times, kind of like the Itachi Sasuke scene, but we kind of got more and more clarity as we went. And the final kind of seal the envelope type wrap up for his context. Yeah, I think that he just had a bad hand, and we all have that sometimes.
Yeah, and I mean, even the like flashback with Obito and Kakashi walking through the village, and Obito is like the Hokage at this point. Or not flashback, but I guess more of like dream or vision or whatever.
Parallel universe thing.
Yeah. It seems to implicate that that's one decision or maybe a few decisions going the other way from happening. Like just barely off course, and now he's, who he is in the show. as opposed to coming back. What confuses me about it, though, is he's missing his left eye as if he's given it away to Kakashi. I guess now that I'm saying that out loud, it makes sense, because that would imply that like he still got crushed by the boulder, but they saved him. And by that point, he had just decided to give his left eye to Kakashi. But if his right eye still works after being crushed by a boulder, you would think he would keep his left eye. But, you know, it's neither here nor there for a little like vision. Just that's not the point of it.
Sure.
But speaking of the Sharingan, man, it would have just been so cool. And I've thought this every time I've watched through it, or whenever I read it initially. It would have been way cooler if when he got hit by those the dust creating rod that Kaguya put in his stomach, if he had just given his eyes to Kakashi, just been like, here, boom, pop them out, pop them in yours, double Sharingan for forever. But instead, we get some little like power that he just is able to pass to Kakashi. Like, we accept it because it happens, and it's like, it's still really cool. And Kakashi obviously saved Sakura in that moment, was still like integral. We saw his Susanoo, that was crazy. But it's just a little glimpse, and I wish like so badly that it.
Wait, so he didn't keep both Sharingan? Because I wrote in my notes that he has 2 Sharingan now.
Kakashi?
Yeah.
No, so Obito like goes into like that different realm with Rin. He's talking to her, and he's like, well, I've got to go. I'm gonna go like help Kakashi. I've got to like take one more detour or whatever. And so he talks to Kakashi in like a different realm, and he's like, there's a fixed time limit on this, but I'm gonna like give you my like essence essentially. And it gave him his Sharingan abilities. But I think that it was after they had defeated Kaguya, and they're back in the normal world, and his Sharingan went away. So he doesn't have him anymore. He just got normalized now. And he says to Sakura that like the Kakashi of the Sharingan is no more. I watched in dub or in sub this time because the Plex for me just is like really low quality every time I watch it. So I just watch sub. So I'm not sure exactly what he says there in the dub, but in the sub he says like Kakashi of the Sharingan is no more. So yeah, sadly, no cool Sharingan for Kakashi, and it's a miss for me. I think it would have been way better, way cooler if you would have been able to keep him.
Do they explain why he doesn't have them anymore? Because it doesn't make sense for Danzo to kill all those people and still have their abilities. Why?
Yeah, well, he didn't have Obito's real eyes in him. So, like, remember that ash, like, comes out of, or the chakra comes out of the ash that was Obito in that, like, really heavy gravity world where Obito was hit. And it goes, like, and it just goes, like, inside of his chakra essence, like, goes inside of Kakashi. So his eyes aren't transplanted. That's why it's kind of this weird, like, we just accept it because we've never seen anything like that before. We'd never seen anything like that again. He just gets that power from Obito, but his eyes aren't transplanted. It's more of like the chakra, the Uchiha chakra, like transforms his eyes. But once Obito goes to be with Rin, like for good, like in the afterlife, that chakra leaves Kakashi.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's the best like explanation we get. It is really one of those things that it's like, okay, we're doing that now. And I think it would have been better explained and better accepted. Not that this is like a hot like topic, but great story by the way. But it's not. It would have been better if it would have been something we'd seen before, like just 2 eye transplants. And it's not like he wasn't standing there long enough. Like Naruto's behind him, like keeping him from dying from the like ash rod or whatever it is. Definitely long enough for him to be like, yo, I'm going out. Here's my parting gift. Because he says, like, here's my gift to you. Like, I'm not going to take my eye back because I gave it to you for becoming a Jonin. And here's your other gift, the other eye, for becoming the sixth Hokage, even though he's not done it yet at that point. So, yeah, I mean, to me, missed opportunity, but not a huge deal. I just think it could have made Kakashi cooler for, Boruto and whatnot.
As if he could get any cooler. Couldn't have said it better myself. We should just go ahead and do this. We've not done it in forever. We're at the end now. I would be shocked if this list changed after the epilogue. Who is your top 3? Or top 5, whatever. We've met a lot of characters. Gosh, that's tough. I mean, this guy's still so far up there.
You think he's top 3?
Here's the thing. I think Naruto's 1 now.
It's hard not to.
It's hard not to.
Yeah.
My gosh.
He's so cool. It's like the same as like Luffy's the obvious choice for One Piece. Like there are other cool characters, but it's like, man, the protagonist, it makes sense. And I feel that wholeheartedly with Naruto.
Yeah. I think Kakashi's top 3. He might be number 3. Because I think number 2, I still have such a soft spot for Shikamaru, even though like we haven't seen him in a while. He's just his development too is just great.
Yeah. And we get to spend more time with him in the epilogue.
So excited.
Yeah.
I don't know, Zach, do you have thoughts? Top 3, top 5?
Naruto, Jiraiya, Hashirama.
Okay.
Dude, Hashirama. It's like the first time he opens his mouth when Sasuke is getting the information that he needs and they're reanimated. It's like, oh, this is who this person is. Amazing.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. He's a really cool character. To me, it's probably Tobirama at the top, Kabuto second.
Karin.
No, she's probably like 5.
Sure.
Suigetsu's probably 3rd, yeah.
Suigetsu over Kisame?
I forgot about Kisame. Kisame's 4th. This is the bottom list. That's the bottom of the entire 5 character list. I don't know. It's weird because now like Naruto is definitely number 1. It's like undisputed. It's hard not to love him. But he is also, I mean, his name Naruto, so like I can set him apart. So besides Naruto, I really like Kakashi. I really like I like Minato. I like Hashirama. These are in no particular order. I'm trying to sort it in my head.
Sure.
I think that if we spent more time with Jiraiya, I think he would be up there. I think if Jiraiya didn't die and was in all of this, which at this point now, and even with like the fight between Naruto and Sasuke in the Final Valley, Naruto or Jiraiya's death is almost necessary to like propel like Naruto's like empathy, and not that he didn't have it, but like empathy and understanding for Sasuke, and just loss in general. Like that's just a tough loss to have. So I wish he was there for the war, and I think it would have been really cool to see him fight alongside everybody and see like things that we didn't really even get, but just a glimpse of. Because most of the time we were spending with Jiraiya was, he was training Naruto, or he was like being pervy sage, and we didn't get to see the like absolute monster that terrified everybody. So that would have been cool to see. Maybe we'll get some of that at some point. Kishimoto will expand on that because there's a lot of content from the third Great Ninja War that we just know from legend, but never anything specific.
Yeah, could be built upon.
Yeah. I don't know. This batch makes me like lower my rank for Sasuke. Definitely a bitch, but I still do like Sasuke just because I like his power.
Sure.
Like his abilities are just cool to me.
Okay, couple quick things. I wanted to ask you how you felt about Sasuke at this point, but before that, I think Itachi might be number 2. Like whole show.
It's hard. It's hard not to. Like he is so good and well written.
Yeah, well written character. Yeah. Gosh.
If we're setting Naruto aside, top 3, Itachi's definitely there.
Is he 1?
He would be after Jiraiya for sure.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But did Jiraiya have it coming? That's what we gotta really answer here.
It's a crazy thing that Logan thinks.
I don't know.
To me, it's like.
Go ahead.
Not that specifically.
I was just gonna say,
like,
I'm trying to think of other characters.
Yeah. Well, keep going if you want. I was just gonna make a comment about Jiraiya.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, with his death and the whole pain arc, I just don't think we have the same ending without it. You know? Like,
yeah, I agree.
And that to me is why, like, I love his design, I love his character, I love his personality. As flawed as it is, Asher, I love a lot about Jiraiya, but the idea that like his legacy was the catalyst for healing of the Leaf Village was just pivotal to me for this show.
Mm-hmm.
And for Naruto's journey overall. So that's the context for why Jiraiya is so high for me.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I mean, you look at, there's a lot in Naruto that, like I'd already mentioned with Obito, that it's like one very evident, like one thing changes the course for forever. And Jiraiya is definitely that. If you don't have Jiraiya die to pain when he dies, and then Naruto fights pain and like overcomes that hatred and like sees like sibling student more than like my sensei's murderer. That's a huge catalyst. Like even whenever he's talking to Sasuke and he's like, I know what loss is essentially with Jiraiya. They also show Pain's grave. Like Naruto feels like that sort of empathy and drive out of that loss enough to be mentioned alongside Jiraiya. Like that's, to me, huge. I think that's honestly kind of crazy, but it shows Naruto's love.
That's the thing too. Like, does Naruto have the amount of love in his heart for Sasuke by the end of this if that stuff doesn't happen? And I would say maybe so, just because it's Naruto, but also like it kind of clinched it. Like,
yeah. Well, and even Naruto says it like right before their fight. He says like, Sasuke's basically like, I'm going to take the past and like use it to like sever everything. And Naruto's like, I am who I am today because of the past.
Yeah. Wise.
So yeah, I completely agree with that. But so Kaguya, she's sealed away. And so is Black Zetsu, and I guess they're just in a moon in that other dimension for forever. And to my knowledge, maybe Jet Kirby knows more about this, but I don't think we actually see Kaguya again. I know she's referenced in Boruto and stuff, but I don't think that we ever go back to that world. I don't know if we've seen that at all. So I
was curious about that.
They're still in there. To my knowledge, they're just there. They're just sealed away in that moon.
And we only got a glimpse of like a little bit of the terrain, but it didn't look very inhabitable.
Yeah,
So,
and
like-
that like root. Well, I don't know what they called it in the dub, but they called it in the sub. They called it like the root dimension or something like that. And that's that root time space that like connects to the rest of them. I don't know if they have access to that. I don't know if that's like a Kaguya specific thing or if it's somewhere out there in general. Kind of fuzzy on that. I'm not sure if it lives in some sort of book or whatever, but yeah, so they're just hanging out. But yeah, so she's sealed away, and then they come back, and Sasuke decides, I am an idiot. And I'm just going to say shit that doesn't make any sense. I want your all's opinions when Sasuke, when that kind of development of like, nah, okay, like I'll undo the Infinite Tsukuyomi, but like I'm going to kill the Kage first. Like, out of left field for you. I guess it kind of makes sense for everything else, but it's like, dude, did anything you just did mean anything to you, or was it just?
Here's the thing: it does make sense now, because I'm not saying I completely called it, but I had a hunch that he wanted to get rid of everyone in his life. That's why he's not caring about Kakashi. He's not caring about Sakura. He does catch Sakura, by the way, which showed me a glimpse of like, I mean, you care a tiny bit, but like, I get that he wants to go it alone in the sense that like no one else has to get hurt at this point. Just me. I'll take on all of the pain for literally the world, I guess, at least the village. So like his actions make sense now. And it also makes sense like he is a product of great loss. So his worldview based on that is not far-fetched. Not to get into Pokemon, but it makes sense.
Yeah, not to bring Pokemon into it, but
I never want to do that.
A little far-fetched.
I mean, for me, I definitely did call it, because a few episodes back, I was like, I feel like Sasuke and Naruto are going to have like a final battle.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Do you think he was going to try to kill him though?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't know at that point. I didn't know he was going to help teams like them win the war. That was pre-war Sasuke. But I did feel like because of the Ashura Indra, like Senju, because we weren't introduced to Ashura Indra at that point, but the Senju Uchiha rivalry that was like a curse that Madara referred to Toby at the time. It was all kind of alluding to like there's going to be another culmination of the Final Valley, like a callback, if you will, because
sure,
you know that's just how most cinematic things happen. But I did not expect it to go down the way it did. I don't want to like discredit the choices made for that, but what a weird way to tie that back in. Like there was no reason for it other than like this is just what they got to do. Like
no reason for what, the fight?
Yeah, like understanding Sasuke's change of heart through the fight, sure, I get it. Makes sense. How are we going to get there other than a conversation that's interesting for everybody that's itching for more action, right? Like that makes sense. But the way that he initiated it was just like, what? Yeah. Why? Like, why is that the reason? Like,
so
I don't know. Also, it just bothered me.
He's also 17, right?
Sure.
Like that's as far as his brain at that age could like think based on talking to the previous Hokage. Like this is the thing that has to happen now. That's where like it did strike me as weird for a little bit, but then I was like, I mean, I kind of get it. Like he thinks that he has the power to make the shinobi world right. in his own way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not, I mean, it's like it's kind of dumb, especially knowing Naruto and knowing just like Naruto's worldview, given the same, or not the same, but given a similar life, I guess.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, I was like, there's no world where Sasuke thinks he can actually murder Naruto. Like, if it got down to it and Sasuke still has both arms and Naruto's there and he's about to curb stomp him, he can't do it. There's no way.
Yeah. What I was trying to get to, though, was not like I'm not saying it's stupid. Like, I respect the decisions that were made in the story. And I get it. I'm a fan of it, right? I just don't. I wouldn't have done it that way. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, I would have more tied it to like, okay, well, this Asha Indra thing, you've got light, I've got dark. Like, let's see who wins. Like, let's have a final like brotherhood battle. Like, we can work together well, but let's just have one out for old time's sake. And I would have loved that probably more than Sasuke's back on his shit and like doing this narrative of like, I've got to save everybody. Like, you just worked through that in some capacity and like confessed to that and like acted like that wasn't the right way to do it. And then now you're back. Like, I don't know, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I totally get what you mean though. Like, and that's what was kind of saying whenever I like first brought this up, that like he just out of nowhere was like, all right, and now I'm going to kill the Kage. But
that part was kind of wild.
Yeah.
Seal all the tailed beasts or kill them or whatever.
Yeah. And so like it did have to be dealt with like right then, because Sasuke was like, I'm not undoing the infinite Tsukuyomi without like killing them first. And Naruto clearly is like, well, I'm not going to let that happen. Right. So there wasn't really like much other choice. But I agree with you, Zach. Like I know how it goes. And I'm still like, you were such an idiot. Like you come out of that fight and that wasn't the change for you. Like you needed to come back into this and be like, nah, I still like, I need to kill my final friend. And it's like, dude, shut up. And Naruto feels the same way. He's like, I'll continue to stop you. Like even whenever they're laying there at the end and he's like, how do you know I'm not going to do this again? And Naruto's like, well, I don't think you will, but even if you do, I'll just stop you again. I love that. Yeah. He is kind of stupid for thinking he could kill Naruto. I think that's just like not on the table. I don't think that it's really in his heart.
You're right. That's what I meant, by the way. Like as a sheer force of will, he doesn't have it in him. Power-wise, maybe, whatever. Yeah,
I mean, if Naruto's not there, like he's easily the most powerful in the world. But I don't know. I mean, we see it whenever they like flash back to like all the stuff at the end. I can't remember which episode it was. It was either 478 or 479. But they're talking about, or Sasuke's talking about like, he admired Naruto and was like, through all this was like feeling emotion for him that we never really saw because we were always following Naruto. I think it would have been really cool to get more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like disposition. That's not the word. Like more like inside of Sasuke's brain. I feel like we're left in the dark.
Perspective.
Yeah, sure. Like I think we just like don't see like Naruto, or we don't see Sasuke's thoughts like ever. Basically, it's like, what is he going to do? And that's been a talking point on this podcast several times. Is what do we think he's going to do? Because the story just leaves that it's like, here's his actions, no explanation. And it's a little, to me, I like the ending. I'm fine with it, but it does kind of cheapen it that at the very end, we finally get to know how he feels about Naruto. But we never see that any other time, really. He's just like so closed off to the viewer.
Yeah. I feel like that symbolism for the dark of like the light and dark of
Mhm.
the relationship of who they are. Like we're in the dark with Sasuke, right? Like, and that
Yeah.
just kind of makes sense. But I agree with you, man. It was definitely satisfying post fight. The fight itself was like, I don't know. I kind of take the first fight as kind of more tough, but like it was what it was, and we got to see some pretty cool moves. Um, but yeah,
Well, it's a little dragged out too, right? Like,
sure,
Yes.
very slow
It's-
paced.
yeah. I mean, like the manga chapters, like we're talking like from probably 475 to 479 is probably 4 manga chapters, which is like a book and a chapter of those like manga books right here. That's not a lot. Like
Right.
there's so much rehashing and like and callbacks and stuff that because it's, you know, we've talked about this a million times now, but because it's a weekly show and this takes forever to come out, it's been forever since the viewers have seen some of that stuff. I get it. But part of me also feels like they were trying to hit 500 so that it would be 500 even. And that's why there's 4 random episodes of filler in between this. Totally unnecessary. But like, there it is, the Naruto and Hinata. Did you watch that, by the way,
No,
Asher?
I didn't watch any of them.
It's up to you if you want to. I mean, it is filler. Like, it's just more stuff from the world. They're mainly like young, like Naruto, Hinata young. And I think that it kind of goes through their like life and their relationship. And same with Sakura Sasuke, Gaara Shikamaru, and then Jiraiya and Kakashi. Those are the 4 fillers. But like it's hard to feel like, oh, you knew that you'd be 4 episodes short, so you threw them in, and you knew you couldn't put them on the back end or nobody would watch them. But I feel like the fight also got drawn out because of that. This is the one fight in Naruto, in my opinion, at least to my knowledge, or at least to my memory right now, that gets that kind of Dragon Ball Z treatment of, here we go.
Next time.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it this time, I swear. And then it's been 4 episodes, and you're like, this could have been one really good episode.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a gripe, but whatever. It could be worse.
Right.
But yeah, so that's kind of it. I mean, you know, like it throws you from like piece to piece to piece to piece, like of like building and building and building. And then because Sasuke was like, well, I'm not going to undo this thing that would definitely end the war until I can have my way. It like forces it to be right now. When I agree with Zach, like it would almost make more sense for Sasuke to be like, not welcome back to the village, but like they undo it. They like get life back together, like seem like, you know, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once they're, you know, not depleted of chakra, they fight. And then 4 episodes at that point, I can probably deal with if they're fully charged up. Sasuke's not trapped the 9 beast and decided that, like, that's the thing too, is Sasuke's suddenly now like he's fighting against one thing. He's like, no, I don't want you to sever the past. I'm going to sever the past, but I'm going to fight alongside Naruto, who doesn't want this at all. And then bait and switch almost, not to be your enemy, but like he's definitely saying some of the same things that was being said by Madara and Obito, not so much Kaguya because she had such a different, plan, but some of the same things. And you were just fighting against that. Like I don't know. I think right now it sounds like I'm more dissatisfied with it than I really am. But
Sure.
Each time I watch it, it is annoying because it's like, where did this come from? I would rather it had gone like just a little different. But
I mean, it could also be like an attention thing, because he wasn't really attended to as a young kid and always looked out to Itachi, and Itachi was the one, and he didn't maybe really feel that way, and didn't really want to kill Naruto. But now that Madara's gone and Obito's gone, and he doesn't have to like actually do it with someone who's powerful, he's like, I'm gonna do it now. And then Naruto's like, all right, I'll spend all my attention on you for a little bit.
Just a little attention-seeking whore.
Yeah.
Have to mark this as for adults.
Explicit tag. But yeah, I mean, I like that there were a few flashbacks here. Just like for my own brain, it was like, okay, there was a lot leading up to this. There was the Itachi stuff, and then Naruto's like, you haven't understood anything about Itachi.
Yeah, that was crazy too.
Yeah, which, I mean, that was a great line because it's like Sasuke is thinking, like, he legitimately believes this is what needs to be done. I'm still open to what Zach said, and I kind of felt that too. Like, maybe he just needed to test it in some way, like test the world. Even I don't even know how I would frame that. Test Naruto, test the Shinobi world to see, like, do I actually belong here in some way or something? And I think in the back of his mind, for like a 17-year-old kid, sure, that's probably somewhere in there. But at the same time, like, to hear Itachi's words and actually get to spend time with him post slaughtering the whole clan and not learn what Naruto has learned from it is kind of wild.
Yeah, like, you know? The time, like he spent that time fighting Kabuto with Itachi. They, like, you know, clearly had like a huge bonding moment.
Yeah.
And then in an instant, Itachi puts Sasuke in that genjutsu to show him everything that's happened. All that happened in, like, you know, a snap of the fingers, and he knew he had all that knowledge, and that wasn't the catalyst. And then coming and fighting alongside Naruto, Naruto even said it. He was like, "There are some things you can't do alone. Like, did you forget our fight with Kaguya 15 minutes ago? Like,
sure,
it couldn't have happened without both of us. And now you're saying I'm going to do this alone. Like, where do you get that, and why is it not sinking in that all of these past you know, experiences aren't really like landing the way they would with most people?" The more I talk, I think the more I get on board with Zach. Maybe he just needs a little bit of attention and love.
Well,
I mean, go ahead, Asher.
I'll just say real quick, with Madara and with Obito, they were so swayed by an idea, so swayed by stone tablets. It kind of feels like that's an Uchiha thing. And there's also like, gosh, what do you call that when you're trying to, like, there's a burden on their shoulders to, like, I want people to think differently of me or something.
Like a chip?
Yeah, there's like a chip. Thank you. I could not think of that word. There's like a chip on his shoulder and on Obito's and on Madara's of like, no, Hashirama, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't understand. I've seen these stone tablets that the poop smeared rewrote or whatever and swayed me and, you know, changed my entire line of thinking. And now I'm set in that. That's what I'm going to do. So it also, like, that seems like the Uchiha curse more than what was explained to us in the show. Is just that an idea gets incepted or implanted and it's like, this is the thing that has to happen. I'm going to go whole hog for this.
Yeah, no, that's a phenomenal point. That would be the actual Uchiha curse, is to get hung up on ideas. I'm fully behind that.
Well, the other thing too that I was going to make a point on is, you know, it's not lost on me still that this little kid came home to his entire clan bloody murdered.
Yeah.
Like, there's blood everywhere. It's a massacre. And the person that did it was the one he loved the most. Like, that's not lost on me. That messes anyone up in the world that has emotions or doesn't. Like, you are to the fullest extent of the word traumatized, right?
Yeah.
And then to add to, oh, there's this stone tablet that I've got to get on board with now. Okay, add that to the mix, and then find out in the same lifetime that it's fake. Like, he doesn't know left from right at this point, in my opinion. And it's not. It's an Obito type forgiveness of like, man, I can't really blame him for making the choices he does.
Yeah.
But executing the 5 Kage is the weirdest thing to say in that regard.
Yeah.
Like,
and
why?
I like how pissed off everybody was immediately. Like,
what'd you say?
Like, why? Like Sasuke, you idiot! Like, shut up,
dude. In the dub, Kakashi said, "You're gonna do what now?"
Also, like, there's no universe where Shikamaru doesn't lead a coup.
No.
And he leads it very well to kill Sasuke. Like, he's done. I get that he's very powerful, but like,
no, he'd have Sasuke walk into a trap, and he'd have Sasuke do himself in. He'd find a way to make Sasuke's power his downfall.
Yeah, like, let's go meet Hidan.
Yeah, I'll show you the secret forest.
Dude.
I wonder if Hidan fell under the infinite Tsukuyomi. Like, he was under the ground, so he never really saw the daylight. And then, like, what about this is filler, I think, but what about the little smoke people that are in that cave? Were they in the infinite Tsukuyomi, or were they not? Because they didn't see the daylight either.
I just want to say real quick, it makes my skin crawl to think that Hidan is still, like, somehow alive, and he's just, like, blown to bits under the ground. Like,
oh, dude. Terrible.
It's too much for my brain.
Yeah.
Terrible fate, for sure.
Terrible fate. But I also don't want him back.
No. Neither does Jashin.
That line, the dub in that part is so cold, because Shikamaru's his voice actor is just so good. Mm-hmm. But he says, I don't really care. It's something along the lines of like, I don't really care what you or your God has to say. All that you really need to be worried about right now is that I'm your God. And then he like blows up that hole, and all the rocks fall in or whatever. It's just so cold.
Dude. Incredible.
Like, so good.
I get it, Tamari. I get it. I would too.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot happened in this batch, but because it was 10 episodes and 4 of them were one fight, there's not a ton to cover as far as content like some of our other episodes. But is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about, or come on with it?
Are Sasuke and Sakura going to end up together?
We'll get our answer.
I know we will, but like, what a long shot.
Dude,
I would say if Sakura, they do, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. We're going to say the same thing.
Yep.
If they do, Sakura's an absolute idiot.
Thank you. I was going to say the exact same thing. If this is real life, somehow, and you can, change some things around so that it makes more sense for our world, Sakura I'd be like, you're a victim. Like, you are a victim. Like, you need to see a doctor, because you have the worst case of Stockholm syndrome. Like, you are in love with your literal abuser. Like, get out of there, girly. No, but seriously, like, oh my God, like, how are you still like on about him? Like, move on. And how are you not in love with Naruto? I'm in love with Naruto, and I'm not even gay.
Sure. Preach.
I'm thinking about it for Naruto. Okay, the flip side of that is, I mean, it's hard to say anything because you said that he's an abuser. So look, take all this with a grain of salt. Okay, they're like 16, 17 years old.
But I'm also throwing words out there. So
sure. But like, the amount of love that she has for him, even through all these years.
Yeah.
There's something there. And 100. Like, I don't know if we get I don't know if we get a time skip, and don't feel like you need to tell us. I feel like you have mentioned it, but I can't remember. But
well, I mean, Boruto, I mean, it's pretty much it's implied because Boruto's not a baby. And
true.
Naruto has to have that baby with somebody. So, I mean, some time has to pass.
I'm just saying she still clearly like wants to go with him and wants time with him, and he's also changing at this point. So it's like,
yeah,
what's going to happen?
And that's a great point. I'm glad we talked about that. So, or bringing that up. But at the end of, I think it's the end of 479, where
he's in a straitjacket, bro.
Yeah, basically. Where he's talking about like atonement and that whole trip. Like we saw Obito's like transformation, like kind of in real time. And Sasuke's happened in the fight, and that's fine. But Sasuke still has like a lot of, and he's even like said, like I need to see the world like through the lens that I have now that I'm changed.
Yeah.
So if Sakura and Sasuke were to end up together, like with, I'm joking with whatever, but like if Sasuke's truly changed and some time passes, like
he wears glasses now.
He wears glasses to show that time has passed. Makes sense. I think that forgiveness from like the viewer can definitely happen if they were to end up together, with Sasuke being a new person and accepting the love. I mean, I think he even said it at one point, like, I have no reason to be loved by her or love her. But now, and that was before, like right whenever they're about to go fight him and Naruto. But now, in a new lens and as a new person with like new ambitions, that door could definitely be open, and I would be fine with that. I mean, I know what happens, but like at this point in time in the story, I think it's still, the door's not like closed or open. It's not even been decided yet, because Sasuke's still changing.
Yeah.
Instead of Obito, we got like, boom, changed. Like True. He got Tog no Jutsu basically and was a new person. But Sasuke got, beat. And then he's like, okay, now like I need like a journey to figure all this out. Like, that makes sense for his character too,
Sure.
because we look at everything from the beginning. Sasuke is like a very slow burn with his decision making. It can be incredibly rash, but at the same time, it's like, okay, now that I figured this out, like I'm going to go follow that path all the way through. And then once he gets to the end of that path, he's like, I'm going to follow this all the way through. So him going on a journey and spending time just like trying to figure out how to see the world and how to like love people. The possibility is still there, but I am still very much on board of like, Sakura, move on.
Like Rock Lee.
Easy
perfect partner. But I get it. You like the bad boy.
Yeah, you like the bad boy with the cool hair instead of the bowl cut and the big eyes.
There's a universe where Sasuke ends up with Karin because that's who he deserves.
That's 100% true.
Crazy lady who is also, I mean, she's infatuated with him. I don't know that she's in love with him, but whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we do get a little bit of a time jump with the end of 479 whenever he's leaving the village and everybody's back with the official 6th Hokage, which we had a little scare with Danzo being the 6th Hokage. But thoughts on that? Justice for our boy Kakashi?
I love it.
Yeah.
Same.
I mean, rightfully deserved.
Yeah.
The only other guess I had was Obito, and he gone.
Yeah. Well, and
but that was a legitimate guess that I texted to Logan and Lance. Zach.
Wait, you guessed that Obito would be the legitimate next Hokage?
Yeah.
What didn't you? I'm not trying. This is genuine. This is so genuine.
Yeah.
You fully believe that there was a path back for Obito to lead the village.
And that was before,
and
or that might have been
next Hokage.
That might have been right when he was Talk no Jutsu.
Bro, that is a take and a half.
It is a take.
I think that is just a what could have been if several decisions didn't happen
Sure.
or went the other way. But yeah, to me, I think that there's the obvious and what ended up happening with Kakashi. Is there another choice though? Like, is there really even another choice?
I mean, Shikamaru, but he's probably too young.
He's
right?
too young. Yeah, he's way too young.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not way too young. Gaara was the Kazekage. It
At
feels
what,
too
15?
young for the do what?
At like 15.
Yeah, like, hey, can you be the president of the United States? And it's like, I haven't finished high school yet.
He's just like, yes.
Yeah.
No
My
more words.
sand will do it.
Flies away on sand.
Yeah. Yes.
I think for the Obito conversation, though, I mean, I don't know. It feels like they gave us that vision of what could have been for the diehard Obito fans who love him. Like, because I know those people are out there somewhere. Like, they just that's their guy.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of justice for Obito in some way of like showing you what it could have been like and giving you some semblance of like closure and like not having to think like what would it have been like if he was Hokage. Like, he would have been great. It's like, okay, well, you got a glimpse of it and a taste, but he's got to die, you know?
Yeah.
But I never thought that he would actually become Hokage.
Yeah. Same. It just was never really a thought because it was like nobody would accept that. And to Naruto's, like, his belief of Hokage, I think is right. And I guess it's Itachi's, but the one acknowledged by everyone will be the one who's Hokage. And Obito could never be that. Not after everything. And I don't think so. And I mean, obviously Sasuke doesn't believe what Naruto says or said at the beginning of the fight, but I don't think Sasuke could have been that either. I mean, he had every single person in the village and other villages besides Naruto, every single person in the village wanting him dead.
Yeah.
So to come back from that is a steep hill that I don't think is necessarily possible.
Especially with the catalyst for it becoming the executioner of the existing 5.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you took care of business. We'll follow you now.
Yeah.
Like,
put his face up in stone. Wait, chip the other ones away first.
Yeah.
We want to forget everything.
You know, what's really weird about that too is like that would have been kind of a ruling out of fear or like ruling over people who fear you. And like he didn't really see it that way, which is odd. He was just like, no, they need to go because of a completely different reason. Yeah, not me. I need to kill them so that everyone fears me and then follows me. It's like,
like I'll keep peace because everybody will be too afraid to stop me. And now I've got Rinnegan, so I'm gonna be immortal. I've got a lot of options. And it's like, do you hear yourself?
But that's like a parallel to Madara, though. Like, he thought the infinite Tsukunomi was like the choice for everyone's happiness.
Yeah.
It's like, no, bro, that's not it.
I guess that's just Uchiha. Like, can't share what's really in your heart, and we're gonna go to some extremes here and just like whole ass into it.
I think there's some merit to that for sure. Like, even Sasuke as a child talking to his mom, and he's like, how does dad really feel about us?
Yeah.
And maybe that's like a Japanese like cultural thing that like the father like just doesn't really share a lot of feelings, or maybe it's like, you know, depending on the family. And I think that definitely exists all throughout the world. But I think that there's some merit to that theory, Asher. They get stuck on ideas, and that's their curse, and they have no way of showing their feelings.
Sure.
Yeah.
I will say that Sasuke, in the content that you guys have yet to see, it is still infuriating how little he shows his emotion.
Oh,
I feel like that's not a spoiler, but it's just like,
sounds like something that tracks.
Yeah, it tracks because it's like, okay, you've been this way for forever. Like, it's not that you don't feel. And there's a particular arc that Kishimoto wrote, like it got its own manga, like it's probably like 12 chapters. And then it was made into anime for Boruto. But it's like in like not in the Boruto timeline. It like happens like between Shippuden and Boruto. And they just like kind of take you back and show you this real quick. And you do get like at the end, you get like legitimate, like, oh, okay, there he is. There he is. He possesses love. There he is. And then it goes right back to normal and you're like, shit. I want him to be as cool as he is and still be like, all right, I love you guys. See ya. Like, that's all I want. Like, that's all I want.
Well, okay. Last thing I'll say about Uchiha, based on what you just said too, like, I feel like Madara still didn't quite get there, but Hashirama's like, I'm going to drag you into the afterlife and we're going to still hash this out together.
Yeah.
Which was
100%.
also just a cool, beautiful
The only
moment.
one that really could show their emotions by choice and like could do it well was Itachi. Now he was, S tier at hiding it, but he was at the end, like with that, like Izanagi, that duo, whenever he was fighting Kabuto, and then he does his little ghost thing and he's like, I will love you always. Like that, I'm like, project that onto Sasuke. Sasuke, you do that now to people you love. And instead he's like, Naruto, I'm gonna kill you. It's like, dude, how are you gonna say that your brother is your biggest influence and that you're like gonna follow him? And he's like, I'm gonna follow his actions. And it's like, that's the wrong part to follow. Like, his actions were a facade. What you got. And now I get what he means by actions with like his true intentions, not the actions you see where like he's in the Akatsuki and whatever, but like his true intentions behind his actions. But still, like, how do you not learn? I could rant about this for quite a while.
To quote Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove, there's a wall there.
Man, I haven't watched that movie in so long. Good. I was looking at the release dates for these episodes, and these episodes, specifically like the Final Valley, like 475, probably like 473 was coming out like right at this time 8 years ago. And what's disgusting is I saw it and I was like, 2016, that feels so like recent. And then I did the math and I was like, oh no, it's been a while. Yeah. But these episodes, I think Naruto actually, Shippuden on Toonami, the dub, just finished this past Saturday. So the dub of Naruto, because they went on, like, there was long hiatuses where it took a minute for them to like pick it back up, or because the dub was still being made or whatever. But the dub of Naruto has officially, finally, fully aired.
Wow.
Whoa.
Took a minute. Started in 2005. And it's 2024. So 19 years on air.
That's crazy.
It really is. Like it's baffling to think about, because this story to me has been wrapped up for, quite a while. And I just happened to see a post about it on Reddit. And somebody was like, since Naruto's finally officially ending. I was like, wait, what? And then I went and looked up the release date window and I was like, oh my God. So, yeah. I remember watching not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago, I just happened to turn on Toonami one night while I was like playing Pokemon or something. And the final battle was the one that was airing. And man, I was like, how is this like a fluke? I just happened to catch this, or are they still like releasing week to week? And sure enough, they were week to week. I didn't know it at the time.
That's crazy that the technology and the cultural standard is like, you could watch this in completion 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you're just now seeing it for the first time if you don't subscribe.
Dude.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I wonder how many people are week to week with something like that, because like Naruto would be aired at like 1:30 a.m. Like who's like, well, I want to watch weekly, and they're like, oh, I just got to stay up to 1:30. I mean, I love Toonami, but I love Toonami for the nostalgia. Even
Sure.
like even if it's new stuff, I'm like, oh, I like that there's a block for this. But I would much rather that block be, at a decent hour. Instead, they show Rick and Morty for 6 hours, and they're like, here's 2 episodes of anime. But yeah. So that brings us to the end of Naruto and Sasuke. And now we get the epilogue. So I can give you guys the batch now, which is 484 through 500. And that will take us to the end. And that is the saddest thing ever. It really is sad. 484, like now, here's the thing.
Tell me the thing.
We are going to have we're going to spend time with, do you guys, how much do you want me to talk about the next batch? Like I can tell you who we're centering around. There's like 3 main stories that we center around.
Can we guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or Zach, do you want to guess? Or do you want to mute and I'll ask Logan?
No.
And you can say no, like we can save it and leave the mystery of the epilogue. Because now, like right now where we're at, like I'm sure both of you guys are like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the epilogue is going to be like or what it's going to cover. I'm sure you guys are there right now.
I bet it's going to be about Naruto.
Oh, that's a good guess. Yeah.
But I have no clue, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Okay.
All right. There we go. Well, then I'll stop saying what I was going to say. 484 through 500, 17 episodes to round it out. What?
A note that I just noticed, unless my counting is off, total episodes of Team 7 is 50, and total episodes of Naruto is 500.
Yeet. That's
like
right.
OG plus Shippuden, we're on episode 50 total.
Yeah,
wait, but that's like 700, isn't it?
Well,
with
yeah.
OG?
So there's 720 episodes of Naruto and Shippuden in total, including filler.
Oh,
Without filler, in total, I think it's just shy of 500. But I did them. I counted like when we started this a year and a half ago or whenever that was. But yeah, you are right, Zach. 50 episodes exactly.
Yeah, because we had 19 episodes of OG and we started episode 20 and there's been 30 episodes of Shippuden.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
It really is.
What technically 51 because you split up the fight.
Technically 51 because of Mew.
I wish that this recording room, I wish I had the same power I have in Discord because I'd just disconnect them. I would have done it so many times through this podcast.
Only I can do that, and I would never.
Yeah, I mean, I
think it's going to be about Ino.
Do what?
I think it's going to be about Ino.
Oh, okay. Infinite Tsukuyomi's ending. And who do we see but 1010 getting a little bit of screen time out of nowhere?
Great.
I mean, not really, like, for like a second, but it was like, oh yeah, she exists.
She was in a lot of filler, wasn't she?
If she was, it was forgettable.
I saw random episode titles, and one was Road to 1010, and I was like,
that is the thing. Yeah.
Who asked for this?
No one asked for that.
Or 1010.
Yeah, we'll find out if it's about Ino. Ino does, we find out about all the characters, what happens next. But we saw a little bit of Neji's funeral. That was really sad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you want to know the note that I made as that was happening. Let me see if I can find it.
And we saw Neji randomly like standing right in front of Naruto before he's about to fight Sasuke. And he's like, go get him. Like basically he's like, get him for me. And
Here's the note I made.
I love Neji, and I get that like Naruto's sad about it, but like we didn't spend enough time with Neji. Like it would have made more sense. There's really not anybody to really plug in this spot, to be honest. But it would have made more sense if like somehow Shikamaru had died, because we'd spent a lot of time with Shikamaru specifically, but we never spent time with just Neji.
It's a good point.
And then they're suddenly like, this is really sad. And it feels like, well, Kishimoto didn't want to kill somebody really important again at the end of the story, so he killed Neji.
Here's the note I made. Whose funeral? I forgot.
Dude.
I literally forgot. And I like probably 5 minutes later in while watching 479, I was like, oh, it was Neji.
You didn't think the like clips of his death or like any of that around the funeral was like context for who it was?
I was still thinking, let me tell you legitimately, I was still thinking about the fact that Sasuke finally apologized to Sakura.
That was big. And it was like the first thing he did. Like he was like Sakura, and she was like, don't talk. And he was like, I'm sorry. And she was like, for what? And he was like, for everything. And she was like, finally.
Yeah.
She said it's about damn time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, Lizzo? Wow.
Yeah. And shoot, that Lizzo comment really threw me off. I was about to bring up something else that happened for just a second, because we get, like we're in that fight. Oh, it was okay. When I first read the manga and they're laying there, and then it finally reveals that they don't have their arms, I remember texting Lance, because this was like the next to last chapter, I think.
Yeah.
I remember texting Lance and being like, I hate that. I hate that.
The no arms?
Yeah, I don't know why. Like I was like, I hate that he's missing an arm. And it wasn't so much that they had their arms blown off. It was that like 2 pages later, Sasuke was like, I don't deserve an arm. And it was like, I hate you, dude. Like, shut up.
That's Sasuke.
Yeah, that's Sasuke. I love that Naruto's like, yeah, no, I need that hand. Like, make it for me.
Yeah, get that Hashirama shit going.
Yeah. It's like, they're going to like infuse Hashirama cells or something? I don't know. It's just cool.
Yeah. And we're closing in on you guys knowing what the future holds for Naruto. I'm trying to say this very carefully if you can't tell. And with that will come the final, I can't play with it in front of you guys. There's a Fortnite skin that was for sale of Naruto that I have that I've not been able to play with you in front of you guys because it's something that you guys don't know. So
okay, I'm not joking around anymore. I'm legitimately excited now.
You just ruined it for me though.
Why?
I don't know. I won't say it on air.
What?
No.
What?
I'm not gonna say it.
Just say it. There's only what?
I just don't think there's gonna be another outfit change unless he's wearing that big old dopey hat.
Oh, well, he's not wearing the Hokage hat. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
It is an outfit change. He does look different. That's a cool figure. And that pose, I'm going to go to bed doing that pose.
Me too.
Dude. Bring on the sleeve.
Well,
dude. Well, now I'm very intrigued. If it's not that, like, what else could it be?
Yeah, I know. And I secretly have been like, I really hope that we finish it before they bring the Naruto skins back to the store, because I didn't want y'all to like scroll through and get that kind of spoiler.
Wait, are they going to bring Naruto skins back?
Or I mean, I hope, but like, there's nothing. I want you guys to be able to get whoever you want. Like, once it comes back, I'm buying Sasuke. That's like only one I'm missing at this point. But like, I've played with Orochimaru, Itachi.
You sure have.
Naruto and Kakashi.
Rubbed it in even.
Yeah. but I want you guys to be able to like, at least have the option to do that or whatever. There we go. That was cool. That was a cool move.
That was really cool, man.
If Zach was a Fortnite character, I wouldn't switch off of him. I would just keep him as my character.
Dude, that's an honor.
That's an honor. If they would let you build your own character, that would be great.
Wild.
Dude, you know the first person I'd go for?
Who?
Beans from Even Stevens.
Bro, okay. I
just
don't
terrorizing
know
the
if this is true
whole
or
map.
not. I don't know if this is true or not, but I saw a video that was like, hey, you remember Beans from Even Stevens? He's a reggae rapper now.
No, it's totally
Is it
fake.
not him?
No.
Okay, so it's somebody who looks just like him, though.
Yeah, his rapper name is M.R.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. That's not Beans.
Dang it. That makes me so sad.
If only.
That's the same energy of like, I saw a...
If you are listening to this right now, just go switch to the video so that you can watch Zach laugh. It's worth it. What is it?
There's a meme where it's like, it's just Beans fused with Jennifer Lawrence, and it says Katniss Everbeans. It's like, dude, I didn't know he like turned into an actor, like a woman actor.
Oh my god. But okay, but admit that dude looks just like Beans grown up. Like
1000%.
it was enough for me to be like, wait.
Dude, it's hard too. It goes tough.
Yeah. Oh
Katniss
man, that makes me
Everbeans.
so sad. I wish I didn't even brought it up because in my head, Beans being
That
a
was
reggae
real.
rapper is way cooler. Way cooler.
Remember when they had the jam band and he was like slapping the bass and like,
I'm gonna tell on myself on the internet right now, okay? So there was a you'd watch Disney Channel and be like, go to disneychannel.com and you can blah blah blah, whatever. At the time, it was like, do you want to chat with the cast from Even Stevens? And so I was like, yes. So I got my my brother to get me to the page.
I love this.
And
Which brother?
Blake. And I was like, I want to send a message to what was Shia LaBeouf's character's name? I can't remember. Even
Lewis.
How'd you know I was gonna say even?
Oh,
God.
man, Lewis. So I wanted to send a message to Lewis. He was my favorite, so I was like, I want to talk to him, but he wasn't an option for some reason. So I think her name was Ren, right?
Reese.
Like his sister was Ren,
Yeah.
and so I sent a message to her instead on Disney Channel. And was like, hey, like, I love the show. I don't remember. I was really young, but I was like, I love the show, like, blah, blah, blah. And I legitimately thought, like, as a kid, I was like, not only is she going to respond to me, but she's going to like me. I was like, this is going to work. And I know it was just going to some 40-year-old man on the other side of the Disney Channel website. And he was like, I don't even think I got a response.
Dang.
I'd love to know if I got a response.
I love the confidence of this is gonna work.
Yeah. Well,
that's what Sasuke thought, you know. Kill the 5 Kage.
That's why
it's gonna work.
Yeah. Well, 484 through 500 to round out the series and to round out the Team 7 podcast coverage of Naruto. I won't say the end of Team 7. This will not be the end of Team 7. There will be a hiatus, as mangakas do. Mangaka is the writer of a manga, I believe. So we're not that. So whatever we are, whatever this isn't the end.
All I want to know is Naruto going to become Chunin?
I will say this. He and Sasuke are both Genin right now. I'm not that canonically.
Those bitches.
They are actually still getting, and
That's hysterical.
At the end of the next batch, either at the end of the next batch or it would be after Naruto the Last, that movie, I can tell you another fun fact that is just, it's true, but because it's true, it's hilarious.
Okay.
17 episodes ended out, but before we end this episode, we have cards to open, baby.
The red hot days of summer are here.
And let's talk about Might Guy.
Might die.
Let's just not forget about him taking Madara hand to hand and how disgusting that was.
Even if the bright days of youth are behind me.
Oh, this pack sucks, I'll tell you that. Okay. OG Naruto, or OG Sasuke, Suigetsu, off to a terrible start. Karin, off to a worse start. Even worse. And then we ended with someone we don't even know. We've gotten this card before, and we don't know who it is. If somebody wants to tell us, but I don't care about that character. Terrible pack. Let's hope this next one's better.
Give me a Jiraiya.
Dude, that would be sick. I would love that.
Okay, wait, hold on. We've gotten Orochimaru, right?
And we've got Minato.
What about Tsunade?
We've got Tsunade.
Okay.
But not like a hyper rare or something like that. It's just been like a normal card.
Yeah. Have we gotten a Hashirama?
No. OG Naruto. Beginning of Shippuden Naruto.
Wow.
OG Naruto again.
Wow.
I'm not showing it. I'm waiting. I'm switching the chase card for the next card. Okay. So this is the chase card. It's Neji. Because I want you guys to see this last.
Dude, Neji's...
the Mizukage. And it's like somehow a better card than the chase card in this pack. This setup, this is a weird setup. Like the rest of them are full, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I never know what you guys can actually see.
Yeah, that's good.
Weird though. I don't have this one. Do either of you want this? You can have it.
Find someone who looks at you the way Logan looks at the Mizukage.
I'm more of looking at the card setup. I've not seen one like that. They're all full art.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking.
It's almost nice to see one that's not a full art. All right. Well, those packs really sucked. So we have 2 packs left for next week, and I really hope we get something cool.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Amazing.
Yeah, dude. Suigetsu and Karin in the same pack? Like, what are these guys thinking?
Karin with the one button unbuttoned at the bottom, so you can see her navel.
Belly button.
Weird choice. Hey, she's an Uzumaki though, right? Red hair.
Okay, I can say this now. That's over. That's over. Listen, dude, and there's an arc in Boruto that further goes into this, but they're not related. That they are related because they're in the same clan, but they're Sasuke or Naruto and Karin have no knowledge of each other.
Listen, Logan, they are kissing cousins.
Kissing cousins. Hot. All right, 484 through 500. Join us for the last episode. Tell your friends. 50 episodes to watch along your favorite series. Rock on.
Madara, he just quick.
I hate that this is at the very end of the episode, but oh my god, isn't it so sad? Naruto barely gets any time with his dad at the end. I love or hate how Hagoromo's all right, I guess I'm gonna undo the reanimation, and Naruto's wait, I'm gonna go talk to my dad, and he's doing it anyways. It's we couldn't have waited a little bit.
I can't stop.
Yeah, I'm doing it. He's gonna leave you. Hope you say something cool.
That was sad.
Yeah,
full tears, ugly cry.
Did you really?
Did you?
No, he did.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, well, catch us next time for the final episode of Team 7 podcast covering Naruto and Naruto Shippuden.